swell.
Good to see ya.
You too.
All right, I'm Peter Sanders, and I played the part of Hawkeye in the Avengers Roast, and this is
Destin Richardson. I played the part of Captain America.
Well, Destin, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Avengers Roast and how the whole thing started?
Okay. We'll start. I'll start at the beginning, which is a pretty good place to start, if you ask me. So I was born a poor black child.
Oh my God.
What, have you heard that before? No, they're technically called in the world of comedy. It's kind of like a staple of the amateur comedy world because when you're just starting out, when you're basically just hitting open mics and whatnot, but like roasting is a very important skill for comics and writers to know, to be able to how to whip up a good burn. And so like if I was to like host the roast of Nick Glasser, people would be like, who's Nick Glasser? But if I tell people we're gonna roast Thanos and Nick Glasser is Thanos, people are on board. People know Thanos. I mean, Avengers Endgame being the second highest grossing movie in the history of cinema.
Yeah.
People know Thanos. Which I showed my parents, who knew nothing of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole. I showed them Infinity War 2 weeks before the roast. Which is the most characters in any of the movies, so it is naturally the best way to show them this universe, but it's also easily the worst.
There's a lot going on in that one.
Yeah, about 10 minutes in, my mom was asking, so what's a Thanos? I'm like, But at the end of it, because again, obviously, most of us know how Infinity War ends by now. And if you don't, snap to it. Yeah, Thanos snaps, dust half away from the universe. And my dad, like the moment the credits started rolling, my dad is like, and you're going to make this funny? Which, to those
it
that
is
saw
pretty
it,
dark.
that's why, I mean, I'm a sucker for Infinity War as one of my favorite MCU movies, because
the bad guy wins.
The bad guy wins.
Yeah, I love it.
And I mean, people will say that Thanos isn't the bad guy of Infinity War because it's his movie, which I mean, it's a fair analysis. But yeah, I mean, he's still the bad guy. He's just a deranged single father trying to end world hunger with a rock collection. I didn't even say that in the roast, but like that was like a nice way of boiling it down.
That would have been a good one. Okay, so I was Hawkeye in the recent Avengers Roast. Destin was Captain America, who of course did a fantastic job. He was really the cornerstone of this whole project happening, and part of the main reason why I was involved and why I was a part of the process as well. So hats off.
There's no hat to have off. Oh no!
I'll be honest, as a comedian who was part of it, I was terrified that it wasn't going to happen, and just because we planned on it. I can remember getting there and setting up, and Thanos was Nick, right? Mm-hmm. Nick was just hanging out already. He probably was there really super early.
I think he was the first one there.
Yeah. He's a dedicated artist.
Very.
I can remember being like, where's Destin? Does anybody seen Destin?
Yeah.
This is his roast, right? And the truth is, Destin was running all over the place, getting things organized. He, of course, catered the event himself.
I was waiting on the chicken paprikash.
I certainly wasn't.
That I was late to my own roast, but like I said, it was, and I was like getting everybody. I'm like, Avengers assemble to help me get this stuff out of my car.
Fortunately, due to this cast size, so plenty of free labor.
There was. Still only 4 roasts to the occasion though, so thank you especially again to Hawkeye, Hulk, and I believe our Star-Lord was pretty helpful.
Yeah. Jesse got his
Yeah.
hands dirty.
Yeah, he did.
Right, I can remember in the moment while we're all getting set up and we're all getting in makeup and just kind of the general camaraderie. All of those folks were just the nicest guys.
Yes.
All of them.
Yeah. Criminally so.
Criminally, yeah. In particular, especially Thanos, right?
Oh my God! Like Nick Glasser is, again, just a very thoughtful, kind.
I ordered this. I really wanted to actively shoot arrows at the pertinent hero or villain that I was roasting, and that was all part of the plan. I even had
Nerf arrows, not actual murder arrows.
Yes, not murder free. And the bow and arrow that I had established was really cheesy as like this very empowering teenage chick bow with purple and pink highlights to kill your little brother with.
Would have been very Kate Bishop.
It would have been. And unfortunately, it was a circus upstairs.
Yeah.
There were so many. It was like a full-out venue. They were sold out up until.
I think there was only 8 empty seats. Other than that, we sold out the whole theater.
Crazy.
Which, I couldn't believe. Like I wasn't worried about covering the venue cost like I was with the Batman one, but this one I can't believe just how many people did show up.
Yeah, it was incredible.
But like I said, it really would have been great had you actually had like the dummy arrows and fire like that alone. Just even if the joke itself was like a B minus,
right.
Like
if it was one of your puns,
the soul, just the soul.
Oh yeah,
the joy of
the freedom,
seeing a Nerf arrow hit somebody and just bounce off immediately would have been hilarious. I would have. I think when you told me about that, and I think I distinctly remember saying the comics, yes, but don't shoot the audience,
right?
Because we saw how Joker did that back in 2011. So,
wah.
Too soon. Joker referenced that in the Batman Roast, so I feel way less bad about it.
And then it just seemed like from the very beginning of that show on, we just hit the ground running. I literally hit the ground running whenever Jesse was doing was calling us up on to make our entrance. I ran in and I had anticipated on flipping around, and I don't know how it would have worked in my head. I probably would have just genuinely injured myself if the rugs, those 2 random rugs, weren't sitting there. And while Jesse's actively involved and engaged in the crowd, announcing all the players to the stage, and whenever he calls up Hawkeye, I run out there, and I was trying to get some leverage to do a spin. I was gonna do just a roundhouse and strike a pose or something, and whenever I landed, my right foot was off of this rug, and my left foot was on the very corner of the rug that was shared on the far corner with Jesse's foot too. And I slammed down on that thing and just about fell. I mean, it was genuinely almost like both of my legs out from under me, fall on my ass. And so, what was the roast actually like in the moment?
In the moment, after running around like a crazy chicken with head cough, nailing down a couple of tech things, securing last minute props and all that, I actually finally got to enjoy the show again. At that point, it was out of my hands. All I had to do was just watch it unfold in real time. And again, very, very proud of the work that all my people did. The attention to detail on a lot of the costumes, And there were a couple, you know, I was obviously worried about. Last November 1st, the day after Spirit Halloween, you know, announces their 50% off sale.
Good timing.
And I went there. It was my day off, so I went there early to try and secure just as many possible things as I could. Not just for the roast itself, just for my own personal theatrics.
Just in case you want to be T'Challa, right?
Exactly. Because I did buy the Black Panther suit. That would have been a really hard spin. If I do say so myself, I would have been the South African.
So, yeah, the South African T'Challa.
I would have to have been like Tyler Challa. Yeah, I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, I'm at Spirit Halloween. You want me to pick you up in Iron Man suit and you just throw me a little bit of money at some point?" And he just very, I guess, already embodying the confidence of Tony Stark. He just sent me like, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh, he already had his
exactly.
costume.
And I was like, it doesn't surprise me that Jameson already has his own Iron Man costume. And my first thought really was that him and his brother probably just bought a whole bunch of like football equipment, spray painted it, you know, the appropriate colors, and like was gonna have like a really close to authentic Iron Man suit. I love the route he took anyway of just being like resting Tony Stark from Infinity War, like still having the glowing arc reactor to his shirt,
that was pretty
having
cool.
the Edith glasses, and the fact that he also just looks like that too, like at all times. He was another one that the casting was based solely off of a Facebook post.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was talking about in Civil War at the beginning when we actually see Tony Stark. It's via the BARF display and projection at the beginning, which of course, as we all know, fueled Far From Home's entire story. But yeah, when we saw that, and they were all thinking like he dreamed about playing a young Tony Stark. And they're like, my one chance to play a younger Robert Downey Jr. and they gave the part to a younger Robert Downey Jr. So I saw that and I was literally like, yeah, I gotta have him as my Tony Stark. Yeah, a lot of them, again, I'm very happy were like my very first, like the first time I messaged them. And they were like, yeah, totally on board. Thor, I can't tell you how many people have commented on my perfect casting of Ty Moore as Bro Thor.
Yeah, he did great, and he was in from the beginning, wasn't he?
He was the first one. I was like, if I can get Ty Moore as Thor and I can get Nick Lasser as Thanos, I said I will follow through with this and I will do the rest of the show. And
yeah, just having him on stage. Oh, eating chicken wings.
The chicken wings. I will pat myself on the back for that one. No modesty here. I told myself I want him up on stage, getting drunk and eating chicken wings because that's just everything about the essence of Bro Thor.
What future events we can do, right?
Yes.
Right? The future events that are on the roster that we have to look forward to, right? We've got, you were thinking a Star Wars thing?
Star Wars is currently leading the polls of just the other comics and friends I've asked. There's Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Trek, which is fairly low, and then
I would love to see a horror movie roast.
Yeah,
of horror
classic
greats.
like slasher roast.
Yeah.
Then also just the idea of historical roast too, which are again it's even more of a subdivision of the character roast is specifically historical characters. The one I actually am leaning more towards is the roast of the patriarchy, which is myself as a caricature of everything wrong with men.
Evil white man.
I already embody it very well.
He's right there.
But like I have like I had like a pinstripe suit, smoking a cigar, wearing a crown. But then all of the roasters would be very important women of history. So I have like Harriet Tubman, Susan B. Anthony, Joan of Arc.
Oh yeah.
Which she was already roasted once. We'll roast her again.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, that one was a little hot. I have a lot of stake in the idea of a Joan of Arc roast, though.
Oh, for goodness.
But once we then make our return to superheroes, it would be fair probably to go on the DC side of things again, just keeping the formula going. The next Marvel roast will be either X-Men as a whole, or just Spider-Man. He's my personal favorite. So.
Well, and he's got plenty of villains.
Of the Marvel side, he's got probably the best rogues gallery, for sure.
Yeah.
Plus, there are a lot of heroes you can throw in there, too. Throw in Iron Man. I personally want to throw in Daredevil, with him being my second favorite, and the fact that he's Spider-Man's lawyer. Yeah, there's still a lot to do there. The DC side of things, honestly, I might lean into the idea of roasting either Harley Quinn herself.
I mean, she deserves it.
She does. She deserves it. And so obviously I'll bring back a few Batman people from the Batman roast to reprise their role if they want.
Yeah.
And then the rest I'll even throw some love to the Suicide Squad. That was gross. You can bleep that out.
Oh, yeah.
You can bleep that. Yeah, throw some love to the Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, the recent movie was pretty damn good.
It was
compared to the original.
And it's one of the only chances I might ever get to whip out my Australian accent and be Captain Boomerang.
Uh-oh, look out world.
Yes.
Look out world.
Grow out the mutton chops.
Well,
be a good time.
Maybe that's a good point. Maybe we should have some of our viewers check in on this debate. Now, I am all 120% down for the Halloween roast, absolutely, and most of these roasts listed. But, if you have an idea of what you think would be a good roast amongst those options,
or even not amongst those options, if there's one I didn't list off that you think would make for a great roast,
feel free to comment.